Commander Jake Morrison stood before the Galactic Council, his boots echoing against the crystalline floor. The assembled delegates, beings of light, chitinous exoskeletons, and flowing plasma, stared at him with what he assumed was disgust. Hard to tell with aliens. You cannot be serious, hissed the Valkyrie ambassador, its translation device struggling with the venom in its voice. Your species wishes to join our military coalition. Humans are death worlders, yes, but you lack the fundamental nature required for warfare. Jake's jaw tightened. 3 months ago, the Kryn swarm had swept through the outer colonies, devastating worlds that had stood for millennia. The Council's vaunted peacekeeping forces had crumbled like paper in a hurricane. Earth had offered assistance immediately. They'd been laughed out of chambers just like this one. Now, with the swarm at the doorstep of the core worlds, the Council was desperate enough to listen. But not desperate enough to believe. Ambassador, Jake said carefully, Earth has experience with conflict that. Conflict? The Valkyrie's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among its kind. You speak of your primitive tribal disputes. Your chemical weapons and nuclear toys. Child, the galaxy has been at peace for 18,000 years. Before your species discovered fire, we had already evolved beyond violence. Then how do you explain the Kryn swarm tearing through your defenses? Silence fell across the chamber. The question hung in the recycled air like an accusation. The High Arbiter, a being of pure energy contained within a magnetic field, finally spoke. Its voice resonated directly in Jake's mind. The swarm is an anomaly. A throwback to prehistoric times. They are mindless predators, incapable of reason. So kill them, Jake said simply. We cannot. The Arbiter's energy field flickered with what might have been shame. Our warriors have no instinct for lethal force. 18,000 years of peace have changed us. We defend, we shield, we contain. But we cannot hunt. We cannot kill. Jake understood then. These beings had evolved beyond violence so thoroughly that they'd lost the capacity for it entirely. Their weapons could stun, disable, redirect, but not destroy. Against an enemy that felt no pain, that knew no fear, that existed only to consume, they were helpless. Your prey species, he said quietly. All of you. The chamber erupted in outrage. Delegates rose from their seats, voices overlapping in a dozen languages. The Arbiter's field crackled with barely contained fury. How dare you? I'm not insulting you, Jake interrupted, his voice cutting through the chaos. I'm stating a fact. You evolved on peaceful worlds with abundant resources. Cooperation was rewarded. Aggression was selected against. You became the galaxy's shepherds, its guardians, its philosophers. He paused, meeting the eyes, or eye equivalents, of every delegate in turn. Earth was different. He pulled up a holographic display. Images flickered to life above the chamber floor, Earth's surface, scarred by asteroid impacts, racked by ice ages, torn by volcanic fury. We evolved in hell, Jake continued. Everything on Earth was trying to kill everything else. Our ancestors weren't the biggest or the strongest. We couldn't fly or breathe underwater or regenerate lost limbs. We survived because we learned to hunt in packs. To coordinate. To imagine our prey's next move and be there waiting. The images shifted, wolves bringing down elk, orcas hunting seals, humans tracking mammoth across frozen tundra. We learned to read tracks in mud, to predict behavior, to set traps and ambushes. We learned to throw projectiles with enough accuracy to kill at a distance. We learned to persist, to chase prey for days until it collapsed from exhaustion. We learned to use tools not just for building, but for killing. His voice grew harder. And when we ran out of animals to hunt, we hunted each other. For 50,000 years, we perfected the art of warfare. We studied tactics and strategy. We built civilizations and then burned them down. We created weapons that could end all life on our planet, and we came within minutes of using them. The delegates were silent now, transfixed by the horror show of human history playing out before them. You think you've seen conflict? Jake's laugh was bitter. You haven't seen what humans do to each other over resources, territory, or ideology. We are the descendants of persistence hunters and tribal warriors. We are born from a planet where everything eats everything else. We carry the instincts of predators in our DNA. He closed the holographic display. You asked why Earth wants to join your coalition. It's not about glory or territory. It's because we recognize the Kryn for what they are, apex predators from someone else's nightmare world. And it takes a predator to stop a predator. The Valkyrie ambassador spoke, its voice uncertain. You would hunt them. Track them across star systems and destroy them utterly. Yes, Jake said without hesitation. We'll study their patterns, predict their movements, set traps light years wide. We'll coordinate strikes across multiple fronts. We'll pursue them until they break or die. He leaned forward. Because that's what humans do. We don't just defend. We hunt. The High Arbiter's field pulsed with troubled light. And after the swarm is defeated? What then? How can we trust a species of predators in a galaxy of prey? Jake smiled, though there was no warmth in it. The same way we've kept the peace on Earth for 70 years since our last World War. We channel those instincts into something better. We hunt criminals instead of each other. We compete in sports, in business, in exploration. We set challenges worthy of our nature. His expression softened slightly. We're predators, yes. But we're also the only species that can choose what we hunt. The silence stretched. Finally, the Arbiter spoke, very well, Commander Morrison. Humanity is granted provisional membership in the Defense Coalition. Show us how predators fight. Jake saluted. With pleasure, High Arbiter. The Kryn are about to learn a lesson Earth teaches every species that threatens us. His smile turned cold. There's always a bigger predator. As he left the chamber, Jake thought about the young Marines waiting aboard the USS Perseverance. Kids who'd grown up playing first-person shooters, studying military history, dreaming of battles among the stars. The galaxy had spent 18 millennia forgetting how to kill. Humanity had never stopped learning.